So just want to do a quick little video here about the horn, trying to get this truck ready so it could be inspected. So the horn wasn't working. I checked the horn solenoid. I did have air to the horn. I know sometimes that's an issue with some of these trucks that sometimes you don't even get air to the solenoid, and that's another issue. I'm not sure offhand what it is, but this here, the horn has 24 volts constant, and this actually makes a ground here. So this is the horn button here. The rest of it's all taken apart, but here was all very rusty, and so is this right here, the steering wheel nut. So when this sits in here, this switch actually isn't closing a hot, it's closing a ground. So the horn has 24 volts constant, and by pushing this button here is what this does, is this sits against this nut. And that then will allow the horn to ground, or the solenoid to ground, therefore operating the solenoid to blow the horn. So you can see it's very rusty there. This was very rusty here. I've polished, or I've wire wheeled all this off. I'm gonna hit this with a wire wheel here, and then clean that nut up as well, and we should be good. Okay, so here the nut's been all cleaned down, hit it with a wire wheel. Just gonna reassemble now. Okay, so I've got the horn button reassembled, but I'm going to replace it because this rubber is all torn up, and the O-ring and the locking retainer is all torn up through the gasket. So I'm going to replace it. But now you can hear the solenoid opening and closing. There's no air in the truck right now. So I am going to replace this here. The problem actually was here as well, I'm sure, because that was very rusty. That was very rusty. But the problem was right down here. So the wire coming out here, this is your ground to your horn. This is your ground from the chassis. And this was very dirty right there. So I just took that, wire wheeled down the eyelet, wire wheeled down the metal and the plate that it mounts to. Behind there is a diode that they use. I'm not exactly sure what that diode is for and the purpose of it. When all this is doing is just closing a ground, it must be some shunt of some sorts. I don't know. I'm not an electronics guy. So now we're back to working, and all I need to do is order a new push button assembly to replace all of this here. This is pretty worn out. The other problem is with it is this has a slight break in there that shouldn't affect it, but I believe they're like around 30 bucks for a new push button assembly. So I'll get that ordered and we'll be in business. But if your horn isn't working, it's something to look into. First, verify you have your 24 volts at your horn solenoid, which is on the passenger side, right obviously by the horn. And then ground it there, verify that the horn solenoid is actuating. So crack a fitting loose when the system is charged up with air at the horn solenoid. Make sure you have air first. If you have air, make sure you have 24 volts, then ground the other side of the solenoid, make sure the solenoid actuates. If it does, you're good. Then come in here and then follow this out and look and see, are you clean on that nut? Are you clean on the back side? Is all this in good shape? And then if that's all good, and what I did is I just took a jumper and I jumped from the inside of here. I just jumped from the inside of this connector to this steering wheel nut, and I didn't have the solenoid actuating. So then I went down and I went down here, and if you take a jumper, disconnect that, unplug the plug, and then unplug or disconnect that eyelet, put a jumper between those, you should have the solenoid actuating at that point, and then you know your problem where it is once you clean that up. So just something real quick, some troubleshooting diagnostics, because there could be numerous different things. It could be an air supply problem, it could be a solenoid problem, it could be a power problem, or it could be a ground problem. So hope this helps.